We'll need to take precautions starting Monday. We're about to hit the hottest 3-day stretch of the year. Roger Ratley is here with an early look at the forecast.
We're going to jump ahead just a bit on the weather. We're going to take a look at Monday through Wednesday, where we are going to be under an excessive heat warning from Monday at 10 a.m. until Wednesday at 8 p.m. And that's for most of the southern part of the state, and again for us here in Phoenix. As we take a look at your forecast, you see Monday we're going to be at 114, and it's only going to get hotter from there. I'll have more details coming up in a full forecast later in the show.
With the excessive heat on its way, people need water to cool down. Today, I spoke with a woman with the city of Phoenix who says donations are needed to help keep everyone safe.
Well, we're about halfway there.
With temperatures expected to reach 115 degrees and higher, Griselda Rodriguez tells us how many more donations the city needs to get through the rest of summer.
In the past couple of months, we've had a limited supply of water, and so we're looking to at least get about 150 pallets.
The water donations help them run the We're Cool campaign, so they can offer free bottles of water and indoor locations to cool off.
Because of the high temperatures, people are looking for our cooling stations where they can go in and get out the sun and cool down.
Phoenix has over 40 hydration and cooling stations that are fueled from donations.
We're taking bottled water donations, and they can donate those bottled waters at any of our senior centers or our family services centers.
But the city can't do this alone.
We partner with several nonprofit agencies, houses of worship, that work with our most vulnerable populations, such as elderly, homeless, and youth.
And it's important to know the summer doesn't end when the calendar says so. In the Valley, our heat lasts much longer.
Our program ends the end of October because our heat doesn't end at the end of August. It lingers on. So we want to make sure that all of our agencies have sufficient water to give to their different populations that they work with.
It's key for everyone to drink water. Dehydration can lead to potentially deadly heat-related illnesses. Heat is the #1 weather-related killer in Arizona. On average, 120 people die every year. This afternoon, the Central Arizona Shelter Services received a large donation, 40,000 bottles from Nestle Waters. The donation should be able to provide a month's worth of drinking water to the homeless in Phoenix. Cass is the city's largest homeless shelter and tends to hand out about 1,000 bottles of water each day during the summer.
The upcoming heat wave is a bit odd for the Valley. Historically, June is our hottest month. But there is a slight chance we could get to 120 degrees next week. Phoenix has only hit 120 degrees 3 times, all of them happening in the month of June. The last time that this happened was back in 1995. Heat-related illnesses and deaths are preventable. Next week, you should use indoor facilities for physical activity, drink more water than usual, and avoid drinks with sugar, alcohol, and caffeine.
The sun is going to be brutal, but on the Navajo Nation, officials are turning all that sunlight to the tribe's advantage. Pat Pobletti in our Washington bureau shows us how.
When it comes to bringing power to the Navajo Nation, Jackson Brossi has heard words, but has seen very little action.
There have been many announcements in the past of different projects that never came to fruition.
So the Navajo Tribal Utility Authority decided to take matters into its own hands. It developed an ambitious plan to build and operate the largest solar energy plant owned by Native Americans. Though it was met with skepticism by many in the community at first, the Kayenta power plant has been a game changer, according to Walter Haas, general manager of the NTUA.
About 75% of all the people in the United States that don't have access to electricity live within the Navajo Nation currently.
The Kayenta plant has allowed the Navajo to generate power for an area in desperate need of it, where an estimated 18,000 homes still do not have electricity. According to Brossi, nearly a third of the Navajo Nation currently live without it, as well as a host of other utilities that many of us take for granted in this day and age.
It's just so ridiculous that in 2018 we have 30% of the people that don't have running water and have to go and get water from the pump every day or every week and spend a lot of time, and the same with electricity.
As ridiculous as it seems to live without power in the United States, a whole range of factors come into play when attempting to solve what Haas calls a billion-dollar problem.
We have a very large unemployment rate. 46.5% of our folks are unemployed. Our per capita income is about $10,700. So you have to provide very low-cost utility services for folks to be able to pay for their bills.
The development of the Kayenta solar facility has provided that, as well as providing a much-needed source of jobs and newfound energy independence, according to Brasi.
We're shifting to a new paradigm with Navajo energy. In the past, from the 1930s forward, we leased, we didn't own. And now we're owners, and we're growing and growing, and I can see that trend to continue to grow.
In Washington, Pat Pobletti, Cronkite News.
A new bill could change the standards and training requirements for tribal police officers. The Navajo Nation is looking to set its own requirements for certification, meaning it would no longer follow those of the federal government. The bill was approved by the Navajo Nation Council on Thursday. Supporters argue that tribal officers should be trained under public safety issues related to the tribe's reservation. Tempe recently became the first city in Arizona to train all their first responders in dementia awareness.
Emily Richardson reports on this new initiative to help patients, caregivers, and city employees.
Tempe became a part of Dementia Friendly America by being the first and only dementia-friendly city in the state of Arizona. Tempe's fire department reached out to the Banner Alzheimer's Institute for help in the way that they interact with members of the community who have dementia.
It's been really exciting working directly with firefighters, medics. We just have some really great dialogue about what they're seeing and how we can problem solve in a way that helps them feel more successful in the field when they encounter somebody with dementia.
A week ago, Tempe Fire attended its first of several Dementia Friends training courses to teach them about the medical aspects of the disease by inhibiting their cognitive abilities.
Home Watch Caregiver in Silverado, they license a program called the Virtual Dementia Tour, which really creates a simulation experience for people without cognitive difficulties to have a bit more sensitivity about what confusion and resulting frustration can feel like when you're living in the day-to-day.
A lot of people just don't know where to turn to when it comes to dementia or Alzheimer's, so it's important that we educate and train individuals in our communities by including Tempe Fire Medical Rescue and the police department in the future, as well as individuals in our communities. It really just helps identify the individuals and those that may need assistance.
According to Banner Alzheimer's Institute, the initiative is very important in Arizona because in the next 10 years, the number of people affected by Alzheimer's is expected to double, making it very important to Mayor Mark Mitchell that the biggest part of the initiative is letting people know that they're not alone. And one way the city does that is by holding a memory cafe every Monday at the Tempe Public Library.
What we learn about these individuals is that it's very common for people living with dementia and their partners to experience social isolation. So this idea of being able to come out and be with other people and be in a place that is accepting and is supportive really has been tremendous.
Tempe holds virtual dementia tours once a month at community centers so that the public can learn what it's like to live with the disease. In Phoenix, Emily Richardson, Cronkite News.
Coming up on Cronkite News, an important dentistry program.
One that focuses on providing care for those with developmental disabilities. We'll take you to the Center for Advanced Oral Health, where everyone gets the care that they need.
Plus, she has a disease that attacks her muscles, but with strength and determination, she has earned herself a college scholarship.
I'm Judy Woodruff, anchor and managing editor of the PBS NewsHour. The journalists of tomorrow face a fast-changing media landscape, but quality news remains vitally important to our communities, our country, and our world. At ASU's Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication, students learn solid, reliable reporting, holding the powerful accountable, and rebuilding the public's trust. The Cronkite School and Arizona PBS, preparing the next generation for a stronger future of journalism.
As journalists at Cronkite News, we report on stories that matter to you by focusing on the local impact. We dig deeper and work tirelessly to keep you informed.
Live in Wickerburg.
Live in Los Angeles.
In Cleveland. In Washington. In Louisville.
From Jerusalem. Live in Philadelphia. From around the world to right here in Phoenix.
At Cronkite News, we report the facts and stick to the truth.
I'm Ted Simons, host and managing editor of Arizona Horizon. The 2018 election season has arrived. Join us for primary and general election debates. Right here, meet the candidates and hear their positions. Arizona Horizon, your source for what matters most this election season. Only on Arizona PBS.
By the year 2050, there will be more plastic in the ocean than fish. Before Professor Halden, I had an insane amount of passion, but I almost felt helpless because I didn't know how to use it. Professor Halden gave me a chance to make a difference. Being at a place like ASU allows you to take these big leaps. Ultimately, the biggest problems in the world cannot be solved alone.
For many of us, taking a trip to the dentist is something we hardly have to think about.
But for those with developmental disabilities or complex conditions, finding a dentist can be difficult. Reporter Jordan Daphnis visited a dental school that is making care accessible for everyone.
Oftentimes, when you have a toothache or cavity, you can go to the dentist and it's not a big deal. But options are limited for people with complex cases or those with developmental disabilities. I found a dental school in Mesa that is able to provide some help.
For Lisa Hall, taking care of her daughter Jordan, who has Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, is a full-time job. Finding a dentist who could work with her daughter's condition was not an easy process.
We went to a prosthodontist and an orthosurgeon first. We even went to a different dental school on the west side of town, but they could not do the more advanced work that they can do here.
The Halls then found the Center for Advanced Oral Health at A.T. Still University, which could give Jordan the proper dental care she needs.
Today it's the first root canal of many, and crowns of many.
Dr. Maureen Perry says this school is unlike any other medical school in the state.
There isn't a hospital-based training program for dentists in the entire state of Arizona. So there is no general practice residency like there is in many other states. So there aren't really dentists who've been trained to work with patients that are this ill.
Every day, 14 residents, along with Dr. Perry and her team, put on their gloves and get to work to help patients with complex needs across Arizona.
We've got a lot of faculty overseeing the case, and we discuss the cases. So it's not just maybe what I want to do. It's like, okay, let's talk to the periodontist. What does he say? What does the prosthodontist say? Can we do this? How can we do the case? So we really discussed the overall treatment plan.
Knowing that her daughter is going to get the work done that she needs by an educated staff allows Lisa Hall to smile a little more often.
It means less worry, less stress, knowing that I can bring her here and that they're willing to learn. That's one of the best parts about this is she's helping to train doctors. When they go into the field, they're going to know more about Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which is a big deal.
For more information on how you or someone you know with complex needs can become a patient, visit atsu.edu/the-center. In the Broadcast Center, Jordan Daphnis, Cronkite News.
The Arizona Department of Transportation has released a route app for bicycle riders. Riders now have access to different routes throughout Arizona, made available with just a click of their smartphone. The app includes a cycling map of local bike paths, as well as the 573-mile Arizona stretch of U.S. Bicycle Route 90. The app also provides users with access to find state and national parks, trailheads, and rest areas. Tourists are flocking to the state of Arizona more often. According to a report from the Office of Tourism, tourism spending totaled $22.7 billion last year. This is about a 7% jump from the previous spending year. The Office of Tourism says the growth in spending is likely due to higher gas prices and strong growth in hotel and motel spending.
The ballot initiative for clean energy mandates in Arizona is facing a lawsuit over allegedly fraudulent signatures. The lawsuit claims that the signatures collected by Clean Energy for Arizona are invalid. The suit further says that more than 195,000 of the signatures belong to people who are ineligible to vote in the state of Arizona. The suit came after a signature review by Arizona Public Service Company, who is funding an opposition campaign to the measure.
Coming up on Cronkite News, life can be unfair.
But you can't allow a tough diagnosis to keep you down. Still to come, an athlete with a rare condition and an amazing work ethic, how she's battled on and off the court to land a college scholarship.
Cronkite News, weeknights at 5 on Arizona PBS.
I'm Matt Berry, ESPN Sports Center anchor and graduate of ASU's Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication. With its bachelor's and master's degrees in sports journalism, the Cronkite School is preparing the next generation of sports journalists to tell stories that matter, stories that excite, inspire, and inform. Cronkite immerses students in covering sports at all levels in one of the country's top sports markets. It's this hands-on experience under the guidance of award-winning sports media veterans that shape the top journalists of tomorrow.
If you're looking for one show that tells you what happened that day in the world of business, it's NBR.
We saw a classic shipwreck.
Nordstrom's opening stores.
Triple-digit gains.
Crude climbs.
We're there to help our audience find new investment ideas.
The market still has room to go up.
Nightly Business Report is the longest-running business television program in history.
Weeknights at 10:30 on Arizona PBS.
Millions of people die every year from drinking dirty water. I would never have felt I had the ability to do something without ASU pushing me. We built filtration systems out of local materials with the people. To see those kids drink clean water for the first time, it's the most rewarding feeling that you can ever have. I went to ASU because I wanted to change the world. The thing I never would have expected is how the world would have changed me.
Firefighters from Arizona have joined a team of nearly 1,600 battling the Ferguson fire in California.
The fire has burned more than 22,000 acres near Yosemite so far. It's 7% contained. Cooler weather helped crews gain some ground Thursday, but the rugged land has minimal road access, making the fight especially challenging. Evacuations have been ordered in the area. One firefighter has died battling the blaze. Another 2 have been injured.
Cleanup efforts are ongoing after tornadoes tore through parts of Iowa. Significant damage was done as several homes and businesses were reduced to rubble. In the city of Marshalltown, a state of emergency has been declared. Some people were taken to the hospital for storm-related injuries, but none are believed to be life-threatening. There has been no reports of any fatalities. Alarming video making the rounds on social media shows waves of trash off of the coast of the Dominican Republic. The video shows just how polluted the world's oceans have become. Volunteers along with public workers in the Dominican Republic are working to clean up the beach. They have collected over 30 tons of trash in 3 days.
Another high pollution advisory for the Metro Phoenix area today. The ozone levels are expected to exceed health standards for air quality. Those with respiratory issues have been advised to stay indoors as much as possible today. If you're traveling around the valley, officials encourage use of public transportation, carpools, and driving only if necessary. And a health watch has already been issued for tomorrow because of ozone.
Roger Ratley is in now with your full forecast.
Right now it's 105 in Phoenix. It's mostly sunny out there. The winds are out of the northwest at 5 miles per hour. The humidity is at 25% and the dew point is at 63. Around the rest of the valley, very similar temperatures. We've got 106 in Glendale, 104 in Goodyear. Mesa is at 104 and Chandler is also at 104. Around the rest of the state, Flagstaff saw a high today of 84. Kingman saw a high of 99. In Douglas, they were at 95 and Tucson was at 100. Now, there's not much chance of rain for us here in the valley tonight, but up in the high country, in fact, Flagstaff, where they've already seen a lot of rain, there is a chance of rain for them. In fact, tomorrow night, there's a 50% chance of rain for them. Back here for us in the valley, we're gonna see 105 on Saturday, Sunday at 111, and here's where things really start to change. Monday at 114, and Tuesday 116, Wednesday 115. And again, we are under that excessive heat warning from Monday until Wednesday. So stay hydrated and try to stay indoors if you can. I'm Roger Ratley in the Weather Center.
Still to come, she won 3 state championships on the basketball court.
But her toughest battle happens off the court. She has a disease that weakens her muscles, but doesn't use it as an excuse. It only makes her stronger.
I like working for Cronkite News because it gives us the opportunity to find a different angle on the same stories that every other news outlet is covering across Arizona. As students, we have the opportunity to cover issues all across the state of Arizona.
It gives me a good chance to sharpen my skills, improve my skills, learn the techniques in a newsroom and in the programs and teamwork and technology, getting me prepared for the real world. And at the same time, I think we do a great job, make some great stories, do great journalism for the city of Phoenix and the state of Arizona.
I'm Ted Simons, host and managing editor of Arizona Horizon. Join us each weekday at 5:30 and 10 as we bring you the top newsmakers who impact the state. We cover the stories in depth that shape and affect our local communities, and we take the time to ensure that all voices are equally heard. For more than 30 years, Arizona Horizon has been your voice and your source for what matters most, right here on Arizona PBS.
Hello from the children of planet Earth.
Exploring, it's the lifeblood of the mission.
Human beings are a curious bunch.
What are we going to see when we get really close?
Wow.
Just because an idea is crazy, it's not necessarily wrong.
We were on our way.
You don't get anywhere until you've tested the limits.
That carries an intensity you can't imagine.
You could hear people just, whoa.
Oh my God, absolutely spectacular.
It's a rush. We ask a lot of our heroes.
We are at a remarkable moment.
We're going farther than any exploration ever has.
Getting a scholarship to play in Division I basketball is not easy. For someone who battles a potentially debilitating muscle condition, it might seem impossible. I met with future Marist College basketball player Kendall Crick to see how she overcame a rare condition she's had for nearly 10 years. When Kendall Crick was 8 years old, she told her dad she didn't want to play basketball anymore because she thought she wasn't good enough.
Being that little, I thought, she's probably just doing something wrong, or, it's coming out of her hands too early, whatever. But she goes out to the basket out front, and she literally can't shoot the ball more than a couple feet out of her hands.
Kendall's inability to shoot the ball stemmed from a condition called dermatomyositis. According to the Mayo Clinic, the inflammatory disease causes muscle weakness that gradually gets worse if left untreated. For Kendall, handling her symptoms wasn't easy. She credits sports for keeping her on the right track.
Playing sports kind of helped me more through the mental aspect of it. It helped me continue just pushing through and having that schedule of I practice this day, this day, this day. It kind of just helped me continue and know that I have to get through this. It kept me going.
Now, even after winning 3 straight titles with the Sentinels, the Seton Catholic Prep varsity girls basketball head coach Karen Self says that the strides that Crick has made on the court are nowhere near as impressive as the strides that she's made off the court.
The biggest growth thing for Kendall is just realizing that it's okay to talk about this. It's not something to be ashamed of. It's not your fault. You were just, developed an autoimmune condition. There's nothing you can do about that.
With Kendall's condition under control, she accepted an offer to play Division I basketball at Marist College in Poughkeepsie, New York earlier this year. Crick is currently attending Marist summer workouts leading up to the start of the school year.
The Lori Piestewa National Native American Games take place this weekend. Opening ceremonies began this afternoon in Scottsdale. Thousands of athletes from dozens of tribes are expected at the Piestewa Games. Lori Piestewa was the first Native American woman to be killed in combat. Piestewa was in the Army when her convoy was ambushed in March of 2003. She would later be rescued but died of her injuries. Her best friend Jessica Lynch was rescued and survived. Lynch spoke today at the opening ceremony.
One of Lori's dreams was to bring people together, and by looking out at the crowd today and seeing all of you here, I think she has accomplished that.
This weekend, athletes will compete in basketball, volleyball, softball, and track and field. The Piestewa Games are the largest competition of its kind.
Cronkite News is proud to be the news division of Arizona PBS. Here's what's coming up on Arizona Horizon and PBS NewsHour.
On the next Arizona Horizon, it's the Journalists Roundtable. Fallout continues over legislative immunity for state lawmakers, and the bribery case of a former corporation commissioner ends in a mistrial.
I'm Judy Woodruff on the next NewsHour. A historian tells the story of her second act, becoming an art student at 64 years old. That's Friday on the PBS NewsHour.
That's it for Cronkite News tonight. Thank you for joining us.
For top Arizona stories anytime, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
Because kids will always be more curious, Arizona PBS delivers programs that serve as a trusted guide for little explorers. Thanks to you and
The Persian Room. Travel to another world, to a land of exotic aromas and period decor for a fine dining experience. The Persian Room in North Scottsdale on Scottsdale Road, 1 light north of Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard. Gourmet exotic cuisine at its best.
On the Great British Baking Show, Pudding Week presents a royal challenge.
Okay, so pud alert. This recipe, no pressure, comes from the Queen of Puddings, Mary Berry.
The Queen of Pudding.
It is quite tricky.
Oh no!
There are many